Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of Three Bros and a Mic. You know, we got here, Big Say.
What up?
Big Matt, Big Mark, and the lovely Quinta.
Hey,
Matt.
hey, Quinn ain't a guest no more. She a regular.
All right, man. So today's topic, man, y'all sit back. This one you're gonna have to really pay attention to.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Mark, what we got?
Man, simple. Heard a story on the radio. They were talking about, problem with fellas not being present in their children's lives, or just not being present in their relationships, right? Penny calling in, talking about their experiences about, their man wasn't present during this, or, he was there physically, but he was never there mentally, didn't put forth the effort of such, Woman called in, though. And she said, I didn't experience that. I got, in my last relationship, he was a little too present for me. And everybody was like, whoa.
Wow, what's that mean?
What you talking about? He was a little too present. Yeah, he was just too present. He was just always there. He did things I didn't ask him to do. He was planning this and planning that. And he was just, it sounded like she was complaining about her blessings to me. It sounded like she was trying to find something wrong with her situation with me. Right. So I said, we got to talk about this. Because I never heard of somebody being too present. You heard us like stalkers and that's totally different.
Yeah, to the extreme, right.
But you're talking about a man that's usually being talked about the negative things that women don't see. You don't really hear a woman say, "Hey, man, it's just too present." So what y'all think about it? Quincy, what you think about it?
The only thing that I could think about is that are we in a society and a culture that we're used to some men not being present, that now when we have men that are present, it's too much.
Right.
Is it too much for some women?
Right.
That's what it sounds like.
Yeah, to me it seems like she's missing out on something, or she's not counting all of her blessings. I would have to really understand her story and what she means. Is he one of those people who never leave? Is he always around? I don't know.
You need the context of it.
Right. But if you're present in your children's lives and you're at all the games, that's plenty. I love that because I'm there too.
Because how can you be overly
involved? As a husband, right? As a father. Think about your day to day, bro. Right. All the activities. How can you do too much?
You think you overly involved in that?
You think you feel guilty because you
right? I feel like I don't do enough still. Still.
That's how it should be.
And I just don't understand, man. I'm with Quincy. I would have to hear more context, man. But to sit there, like you said, Mark, so beautifully, man, like complain about your blessings. Women, no offense, of just in this context of the story, women are notorious for talking about how men ain't shit.
Right.
Then here you have a man who does all of it.
Over and beyond.
Right. And now you can't handle it because you're so accustomed to not having shit. That's it. That when the blessing comes, it's like off air when you said about the lady who praying to God, oh please send me. Please send me a man. Like, I sent you one. Send me one more.
Not that one.
Like, come on, man.
Like, this one not good enough. Hold on. This one too good. Something got me wrong with it. Right. Send me another one.
When you do that, when that man does all of that, I can almost see that lady saying, something got to be wrong. Okay, he's hiding something.
Right.
Why can't it just be? Why can't it just be?
Waiting for the shoe to drop. Like,
He's just trying to do something nice. But you know what? When you experience failure in a relationship so many times,
and what society tells you, that this man, this black man particularly, isn't supposed to be shit. Right. Can only do so much.
Right.
And that's what you grew up around. That's what you're accustomed to.
He did all that. He had something.
Right. He's gonna compensate for something. Right.
Something right.
He ain't got no kids. Oh, girl, he had something. Oh my God.
Right.
Yeah, that you don't hear that too much from men though.
No.
I don't think I've ever heard a man say she's too present.
No. Because if anything, a man will accept a woman who wants to take charge in certain things, right? They don't like to plan stuff. That's fine. Wants to get dinner ready. That's fine. Guys typically get more laid back about stuff like that.
Right.
We're not going to complain about stuff like that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah, I'm telling you, man. Like I feel like I said earlier, just a few seconds ago. I feel like I don't do enough. My wife tells me all the time I do more than enough.
right.
But just as a man, I don't think it's not a competition. It's not like,
Right.
oh, she said, yeah, I do more than enough. Now I'm gonna figure out if I can do more than that. Like
Right.
it's nothing like that. It's just I look at it changes every day.
Yeah.
You know, depending upon what's happening.
Today.
You know, if she's doing this with so and so, I try to think of like, what can I do to alleviate what she got?
Right.
going?
Right.
Yes, she knows I got, but then on the flip side, well, I love her so much, she's thinking about how she can alleviate what I'm
Something
doing.
off of your
Right.
plate.
But then that's how we butt heads, though.
Right.
Yeah, easily we butt heads because we're trying to do the same thing instead of trying to figure out a way we can work it together.
It don't take all that.
Right. Yeah.
So I mean, too present. Can you be overbearing? Yes. You know, now being present is one thing physically.
Yeah.
You know, like, oh, you showed up every birthday. But I think the context of what you're doing at that birthday
Right.
that can play a role.
Yeah, I see that. I see
Like
that.
okay, you had every birthday, you sitting in the cut. Then okay, that's one thing. But in the birthday, acting a fool,
Right.
doing X, Y, Z, being extra. When
Right.
the daughter or the son don't need you to be extra.
Being the center of attention all the time.
Right.
Right,
Yeah.
you trying to be the center of
Yeah.
attention.
Right.
You call all the time, but you don't call to talk to them. You call them about yourself.
Right.
Right.
You know that. You know what I'm saying? You're present, but it's the context of that.
Right.
Right.
I think that's maybe where she may,
Maybe.
but
Right.
we don't know.
Right.
Maybe.
That's the only way I can look at it. So
What do you think about it?
Man, I'm still kind of like blown away. I've never experienced that. You know, even you telling me that is just like wow. But you know, in a situation, you would always think that the person would let you know, like, okay, like you might want to reel yourself in a little bit. You know,
Too much.
doing too much right now, man. You know, I like how a relationship is progressing.
Right.
Hey, man, but in this certain aspect right here, you're doing the most, man. And I'm like, okay, we had that discussion. Okay, well, I just need you to fall back on these areas. Good, move on. But this is flat out just tell somebody that they, they're too present. Nah, yeah, wow, yeah.
and then when they're not there,
Then it's an issue. So it's on both sides. So now when I fall back, now I'm not present enough. But before I was doing too much.
so now you want both. You want both pieces of the cake.
Right.
You want
Cake
you want the fuss,
Yeah.
Right.
and you want to be happy about it.
Right.
So
Yeah.
he here. God, he's always here.
Right.
Like,
Which that can be a lot. If it's the presence, like he's always here,
Right.
he never leaves me alone.
that's
Or
different.
like, say for instance, I want to spend some alone time with my
Right.
daughter, and he's like, we're
We're
gonna do this thing together all the time.
Right.
That can be an issue.
That's
That's
right.
too. You are a little too present if you're doing that.
Right.
Like, everyone needs their own space. Everyone needs their me time. So if it's the situation where they're talking about the person is too present because they're physically too present, and they never let the other person get their me time, then that's different.
So, Mark, how you feel? I mean, I guess Mark and Jim Matt can't speak on this one, but if in your situation where your wife was like, okay, we're going to have a nail day, we're going to get a pedicure, manicure.
Right.
There's, you know what I'm saying? He might have been like, oh, I'm going too. Let me go. What we all do? Like, to me, certain situations, okay, y'all going to get that. Hey, handle y'all business.
Right.
Here y'all go. Here's some money. Handle y'all business.
Yeah.
Reverse with that, my wife is like, Zuri can't come, or my daughter can't come with me to go get a haircut. Agree. There got to be some kind of, boundaries.
Yeah,
like, okay,
boundaries.
all right, yeah, that's cool. That's fine. I understand that. Don't want to be overly present, in those type situations. But as long as, y'all have that discussion and that dialogue about what's too much and what's not enough.
Right.
and that great point, because there's been a lot of times when your sister be like, I'm going to Quinta house and I'm gonna take the boys. I'm like, I'm gonna come too. She's like, she's like,
No.
No.
What are you doing? It's not me trying to be overbearing. I'm thinking you got two boys with you.
Right.
Or y'all a unit, right? So
Right,
at that
yeah.
point,
Exactly.
When she has the boys, you assume that
Okay,
she's woman too.
I see
Yeah,
my
right,
position.
right.
I'm like, all right, we're going. She's like, but you don't have to go. I mean, I'm going to Quinta house.
Right, yeah.
Say it, nigga, you stay here.
Right, yeah, you good, man.
She want to say,
Right, yeah.
Yeah.
which is okay.
Yeah.
Right.
So, I
Right.
mean, I'm just like, she's like, And there have been many times when she has voiced her side. She was like, "I just want you to chill,
Yeah.
chill." But I'm like, "But you tired too, bro.
Right.
Like you had both these boys.
Right.
You going to your sister's house,
Right.
and then what's gonna happen is my boys gonna run all over her house,
Yeah.
Right.
and they're gonna be chasing them around.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Me mom gonna be chasing them around.
Right.
And I was like, "Nah, man, let me go. Let me help out."
Right. Yeah.
You don't want her to become overwhelmed.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, I just want to be of help, and she's like,
Right.
"Nah, I got it." So
Right.
I have to keep telling myself if she says she got it.
Right.
Yeah, she got it.
Right. So you internalize that, Jim, man. Like, as soon as it was, like, dang, should I have gone? You know what I'm saying? Do you
Should I stay or should
I
I
go?
go?
Right. So
Are you feeling a sense of I don't want to fall into I'm not present
right. Yeah.
at that moment?
I mean, like I said earlier, about guilt, right?
Right. Yeah.
Feel
You
guilty.
feel
Just
guilty
sitting
about it.
Yeah.
instead of
not
being up
going.
doing
Right.
something.
Yeah.
I think, oh my God, that's what
Yeah.
it comes
Yeah.
from. When, especially when you grow up, and yeah, I can see for everybody, but we grew up in a situation where your father wasn't necessarily present,
Right.
right?
Right.
And it's just you try to overcompensate sometimes.
Right.
Yes.
Right.
Subconsciously to make sure that it could be me.
Mm-hmm.
I'm here, like nigga,
Right.
I'm here.
Right. Yeah.
I'm for birthdays, holidays,
All
even
that.
going to the store
Right,
get wet.
yeah,
I got you. Like I need to look like me and my wife playing birthdays. Like I'm there.
Yeah.
Right.
She's not playing this shit. Like, I'm so a lot of times I think a lot of guys do that.
Yeah.
You know
Right.
what I'm saying? Make sure they say look back. It's all said and done. You can't say I was.
Right.
And I know that happens.
You know.
Right.
Real life. I know
Yeah.
that happens.
Man, that's you hit a nerve right there, man. Especially the way I am now, man. With mine, it was just like I know that feeling of not having that person in your life. So I'm gonna make sure she never had to feel the same way I felt, man. So if I'm going to the max, hey man, it may so well be it, man. It's just that's just the way it's gonna be. I'd rather be on that end of the spectrum than the way on the other end of the spectrum and the way I felt. So
Yeah, I think I come from the perspective of both my parents were there.
Yeah.
So I have that experience of what it feels like for my parents to be present.
Right.
So I replicate that.
Right.
And so it's not I'm not better than anybody here, but it's not from a situation of something bad happening.
Right.
It's more so of the good things I remember of my parents.
Mm.
So like when I do things with my wife and with our kids, it brings me back to like stuff that my parents did with my sister and me.
Mm.
So going to Quentin's house, it's a thing that we used to do back in the day. Like we all went every Sunday. We always went to somebody's house.
Mm.
The whole family.
Like the whole family went to somebody's
Right.
house every Sunday. So it was just a tradition that we did.
Right.
And it wasn't like people holding your hand and saying you have to go. It was a hindrance. You
Right.
wanted to go.
Right.
And for anything, I'm a family guy. Like I want to see
Right.
I want to see her kids.
Right. See how you
And
doing.
their dogs and their
Right.
husband, all that. Like I want to see them.
Right.
But at the same time, I try to still see it from my wife's perspective. Like, yes, am I tired? Absolutely.
Mm.
What husband ain't tired?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I applaud her for wanting to take the role and say, my husband's tired. I'm gonna go out or use Quentin as an example, go to Quentin's house.
Mm.
And I gotta learn how to take that blessing.
Right. Yeah.
Lay down.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But I think about not that it's gonna be an argument or anything.
Right.
Like why you see if you would have came, then such wouldn't have happened. You would have hit his head.
Right,
Whatever.
Right. Now you're dealing with that. Right. Yeah.
But you don't do that.
Right.
Yeah.
And then Jim Mack and Quentin, man, and Mark too, man. A lot of this stuff is, foreign to me, a lot of these different things. So now, we go to church and stuff as a family and a unit and stuff like that. So now when I hear stuff like, it's, it's good that your daughter see both of y'all go to church. You know what I'm saying? Like, they need to see their dad go to church and they need to see their mom go to church and they see how y'all interact. And for me, that's like a foreign thing because I didn't grow up that way. We went to church, but it wasn't a big thing for me to I didn't see a lot of we went, but I didn't see a lot of families in there, when we went. But now, when people say that to me, I was like, huh? Like, man, they need to see, your children need to see both of y'all in church and both of y'all.
Right.
Or anyway, any arena, but
It's on mommy.
yeah, fact.
That's true.
Yeah,
It
fact.
ain't just on mommy, getting a planned birthday party.
Right, yeah, fact.
To see both of the parents there,
Right.
present, doing little things.
Right.
In the kitchen, cleaning.
Yes.
Like, just little shit. Like,
Right.
that's huge.
No doubt.
They say,
And like you mentioned earlier,
Yeah,
the
facts.
learned behavior.
Straight up.
Sometimes learned behavior is showing a person how to be present.
No
or
doubt.
Not how to be present. You know, if you
Right.
have a dad that he believes in, the mom goes shopping, the mom does everything, and like I said earlier, you go to work, then that's
Don't
not
pick
showing
that up.
present, and the children are going to do the same
Oh,
thing.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, your kid, and then that whole premise. I know it works in certain cases.
Yeah.
But do as I say, not as I do. It works in certain situations, but not in that.
Not in that one. A
Not
lot
in
of times that one.
because I mean, do as I say,
Right.
but not as I do. Oh, okay. So I see you sitting at home,
Right.
doing nothing, but Mama's doing everything.
Everything, right.
But don't do as I do.
Right. I say.
Like,
I say.
think
Right.
about a 5-6-year-old seeing that. Like,
Right.
Right,
I see
yeah,
mama
the
just
conflict
over this,
that they got,
this
right.
9-course meal,
Right.
and then afterwards you still sitting your ass on the couch.
Right.
Right.
Clean
You're
Right, yeah,
This
she
is
could
good.
Yeah, offer to clean a plate.
Right, yeah.
Not in my house.
Right,
You know what I'm saying?
right.
So,
See, but I kid you not. So in my house, when I grew up with my parents and my sister, man, my mom never once complained about doing the dishes. She cooked a whole Sunday dinner, like
Right.
5-course meal.
Right.
You know,
Right, yeah, definitely.
Mama throw
Enjoy.
down.
Yeah.
And when mom throws down, my mom has no concept. I think it goes back to your mother and their generation. She has no concept of portion size.
Yeah.
She just cooks.
Yes.
Right,
And it spreads out the whole week.
Yes.
So now, what happens at the end? You got pots on top of pots
Yes.
of food. Right?
Right, yeah.
right.
So now you got to put it away. So me and Dad, Uncle Ive, Mako, all of us, we chilling watching football.
Right, yeah, fact.
Mom ain't tripping.
Right.
I grew up this way all my life. Mom was like, Mom and Angel and the ladies, it was like automatic.
They went right
It just-
Everybody done? Let me get your
Yes.
plate, let me
Right,
get your
yeah,
plate.
fact.
So,
Yeah.
but the thing was, like, it wasn't a sign of disrespect.
Right. It was just a
It's
thing.
what we saw.
Right.
Yeah.
But then comes along my wife. My wife put me in my place.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, fact.
Take me back to that first day.
Yes.
Right.
When was that? Was it at her place? You came over, or your place, or whatever? Was she cooked, and then you went to go sit there and say,
Oh, man, that was so good, man. Let's see what's on
No,
TV, man.
the place was at my mom's.
That's your mom's.
And
Okay.
my parents, with
Right.
mom and pops, with pops still living, man, we had, a tradition, Sunday dinners.
Right.
Everybody coming through. Callie, I think she was, oh God, my wife, sorry. My wife, she was getting to know, I think we probably been, I would say a year in,
Okay.
or close to it.
Y'all solid.
So, it's a serious thing. But regardless of that, anytime she came over, she was always helping. Always helping, right?
That's
It's
your
in her
That's your
nature.
Yeah.
Right.
That's what she did.
Right.
But this one particular time, it was a big thing happening at the house. And as soon as everybody, you can tell me everybody's done.
Right, yeah.
Everybody's sitting back. Everybody's talking like this.
Right, yeah, laid back.
Now we're just drinking, hen and coke.
Right, yeah, right, relaxing
So
out, right.
next thing I know, I see my wife get up, roll them sleeves up, and I think my mom had the gloves for the, so she got in there and she just started grabbing pans and scrubbing, grabbing pans and scrubbing, and then my mom in the kitchen has that window that looks into the other room. She looked.
You made eye contact.
Right. Come here. So I promise you, I'm not thinking it's about what's about.
Right, yeah, right.
I'm thinking she needs something. I'm like, what's up, man? She was like, you're not gonna help put this stuff away. Your mom just slaved over this
Yes.
stove.
Right,
Yes.
And I'm like,
I don't see
Mama ain't never asked me. She's like, she ain't gotta ask me.
And that's crazy because you never saw it before. You never even thought about it.
And it's not wrong with that.
It's nothing wrong
My mom
with it.
never
Yeah.
complained.
Yeah.
So it was like, okay, mom always, if anything, mom would come in and say, hey, make you a plate.
Yeah.
I would make me a plate and go sit back down.
Right, that's it.
So my wife put me in my place, and it made me feel so little. At that moment, it was like, she's right.
Right, no, right, yeah.
What have I been doing my whole life?
Right, yeah.
All these years, I've just been chilling.
Right.
Yeah.
And then going back and getting what I want, and I felt while they're cleaning up.
Right, yeah.
Hold on, put it back.
Yeah, before y'all put that up, you ride this right here.
So it made me really think about showing respect. I
Right.
mean, not that I don't respect my mom.
Yeah.
But the fact for that, and I'm like, to show that I appreciate her.
Right.
So
Different type of.
I was like, you know what? From that point on, to keep peace
For the house.
and not see that face.
Right.
As soon as everybody finished, I'm getting up, grabbing plates.
Right.
Right, yeah.
I'm throwing away trash.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm starting to put the pots away, clean them out.
Hey.
Yeah.
And, you know, me and Callie, me and my wife, we would tag team that thing.
Yeah.
You know, and my sister was always in there.
Right.
And she grew up doing that. So
Yeah.
it's amazing, like, what you don't see. Or
Right.
isn't revealed to you as a young person until you get older. Like, dang, I really.
Right.
So.
And I can attest to that because I helped this guy take out the trash and stuff now. So he's.
And then that was a different generation too.
Right.
Before you had
Of the sign of
very,
love.
Right,
it was a
yeah.
sign of love,
Sign
and
of
then you
love.
had very specific duties.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, as a husband and a wife, and roles, and what you did.
Right.
So.
So yeah, but
Yeah.
that's a big one.
No. Yeah.
I had that conversation at home.
Hey,
If there's
how y'all
such a
feel about it,
thing,
man?
if there's such a thing as being too present,
Right.
Yes.
Yeah.
and do them dishes, fellas.
Please,
Right. Yeah.
please, help.
Busting suds, man.
Do the
Hey.
dishes.
Well, better yet, hey, whoever cooks, the other person do the dishes.
Break it
Yeah,
down.
let's teamwork. It's teamwork. Let's do it together.
So,
Hey, subscribe, like,
Yes.
share, comment. Let us know what you
Appreciate
think.
y'all.
We love y'all, man. Thank y'all so much.
good night.